I really like it. I love it. I'm very, very, very excited about it. Please drop in the comments telling Alex. But now is another very important time in my life that I need to talk to you about. Today is the day that I come back to check on my favorite kitten and Bone Daddy. We are the gods, them, family. Ooh, yeah, yeah, baby. Yeah, Emperor. Old with skin. Emperor, new with no skin. Gross man cigarettes. Elephant nipples. Emperor. World. Intro.
The library, right! Oh my god, I forgot. Library cards, very important.
Look at him. Look at him.
Interested?
Yes.
Not really. I'm just making sure you're not trying to invite your army of demonic tentacle monsters over for a party or something.
I'm trying to make me go to hide. Look at me, I'm talking now. Shh, be quiet, you wink.
Okay, but hear me out. They have beautiful hats, and anybody with beautiful hats is definitely invited.
Can we please have a little bit of trust at this
Just
point?
a little bit.
I mean, of all the places in this expansive galaxy, this isn't the most comfortable location for me to be in. Besides, I'm not Fulgrim.
So you're telling me that succulent food, a luxurious atmosphere, and an actual bed are less comfortable than the realm that is literally a collective seizure?
You know, that's what I was thinking. It's like, I feel like it could be pretty comfortable. I don't quite know where you were before, you know, warping around, fucking around, being a weirdo with an eyeball, belly button, and elephant tusk nipples, but I feel like you're doing pretty good. But maybe that's just me. Maybe I don't know anything. I don't know.
If you had more mental capacity than a box of Grox manure, maybe you too would appreciate its own unique majesty.
Okay.
Fair points. Fair points. All fair points.
This assumes that I'm insane enough to want to. Nevertheless, you just being here is a sign of trust in my lord, is it not?
Perhaps.
You just being here is a sign of trust in my lord, is it not?
Perhaps. Crazy. Dense.
This crazy motherfucker. Wow, 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 wow. Does that really work?
Tickle the pole. Tickle the glow stick. Why does it sound like a didgeridoo?
Why are you still here?
Well, okay, tell me. What are you actually doing?
He's playing the mystical didgeridoo, obviously.
Don't mistake my question for curiosity, I'm mostly just concerned.
Research, observation, experimentation, calming my nerves, listening to the whispers of the warp, passing the time of day, and so on.
Does this calm your nerves? Just wow, 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 wow.
Albeit it's pretty damn hard to get a good focus in this place, with Father around. Finding any warp traffic to spy on, which isn't tinted gold and full of pent-up frustration, is like trying to remove a demonic incursion from your rectum.
Oh! Sounds like a pain in the ass. A demonic incursion in your rectum. How exactly, physically, does that work? Are they really small? Or is it like a wormhole thing where like size is kind of irrelevant, but they just like burst forth from your butthole? Or the other way around? Or are they like Ant-Man where they can shrink and then grow and then shrink and grow, and then it's that scene in The Boys where that guy, spoiler alert, had a man in his urethra and then he exploded? I just want to know the logistics, you know?
No, I left my heresy detector in my chambers, but I can hear it going on from here.
Ow! Ow! Stop that!
Stop what?
Stop dazzling me with your ignorance!
Dazzling me with your ignorance. That was a well set up insult. Loved it.
Your shiny, half-baked head is burning through my retina like an acid made of stupid
Listen, I know you sound like you're mad, but it also kind of sounds like you're trying to flirt.
Seriously though, have you still not got that this heresy expression you speak of is just your Imperium's excuse to put a giant bolt into the head of anyone who goes against you? The Imperium is like a child in a my dad is better than your dad argument that received the right to kill anyone that attempts to argue back, you witless dildodes.
Dildodes. I love it.
Well, if you didn't make everything so, I don't know, diabolical, creepy, and straight up evil, maybe you wouldn't be such easy targets for both propaganda and a bombshell to the forehead.
I love Kitten. Y'all know I love Kitten. You know I love him so much. But at the same time also it's just like, you're kind of basic. I like a little spice. But I love Kitten. I'm very conflicted. I don't know what to do here.
I mean, you're not doing yourselves any favors by wearing the skin of your enemies, for example.
For your information, I have never worn the skin of my enemies. Do I look like a Necron Flayer to you?
To be fair, the Necrons and your Thousand Sons do have pretty similar motives nowadays.
Yes, we've already sent the cease and desist order. They're just being ferocious plasteel dicks about it.
Oh my god.
I have found out today I don't like the way Necrons laugh.
They can't read. He doesn't even know what it says. He's just maniacally laughing to maniacally laugh.
Gaze upon this. I'm gonna start saying that specifically to Maddie, and Maddie only, all the time.
It's
It's good shit. Oh, man.
I feel like this is what executives at Disney act like when you try to say that you had an idea before them and they ripped you off. They're like, copyright these sticks. These nuts. This stick. This ball. This scrote. You know? I'm sure that every Disney employee has a hidden Mickey on their testicles. Prove me wrong.
Regardless, you still look like you woke up on the wrong side of the Eye of Terror.
I do see where you're coming from. All the decapitated heads and giant spikes do make it look like we're compensating for one thing or another.
I still think they're kind of flirting. They've got that enemies to lovers thing going on, where they're like mean to each other, but really it's because they kind of want to slurp each other's peens, you know?
Do see where you're coming from. All the decapitated heads and giant spikes do make it look like we're compensating for one thing or another.
Oh.
Like of decent parents. But to be fair, given your Imperium's alarming obsession with skulls, I'd say you have some issues of your own. Nevertheless, did you only come here to watch over my shoulder, or did you have some other reason?
Didgeridoo.
Well,
Yes?
I actually wanted to ask you something.
Well, go ahead. Might break the monotony.
I've been wondering. I've served my Emperor for somewhere around 11,000 years or so. I don't really keep track anymore. And
Fair enough. It's a long
even
time.
though he's my, our father,
Yes.
I
Good
don't
job.
actually know that much about him besides from what I've seen with my own eyes.
Isn't that enough?
Of course it is.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's never enough.
After fighting this side and hearing his dreams for humanity, no sane man could not appreciate his majesty, wisdom, and might.
It's true.
Directly calling me insane now.
You're a little insane. What can we say other than, yeah, you're a little insane?
Directly calling me insane now.
Truly, he is the one and only worthy leader of mankind. But where did he come from? Did he have parents, or did he just, I don't know, crawl out of a gold deposit?
Did he?
I have never, ever in my life considered that. I knew that there was Emperor now, and then Skin Emperor before. But yeah, where did the Emperor come from? And like, why? Does that make sense? Why the Emperor? Where the Emperor? Who the Emperor? Tell me more.
Not that's a bad thing, of course. I'm sure it was the most glorious deposit in the world.
Oh, hungering for some crisp, luscious knowledge, are we?
Me too, honestly.
How fascinating. I thought you companions were specially trained to act as completely uninteresting impersonal automatons.
Well, truth be told, I think as time has gone by, most of us have either gone a bit into the cuckoo's nest or have managed to retain some form of rationality.
Oh, snap. Rationality, unheard of.
Actually, I'm the one exception. Everyone has completely lost their mind.
Hey, kitten, want to go take a swim in the Promethean pools with us?
No.
Hey, be that way.
That was cute.
Kitten, want to go take a swim in the Promethean pools with us?
No.
Hey, be that way.
As I was saying, I'd still follow the Emperor right into the Eye of Terror if he commanded it. I live for him, I follow his every word, and I never defy him.
Yes.
And I would happily give my life for him.
Yes. Me and every relationship, and then they end up being assholes, and I am the fool.
I follow his every word, and I never defy him. And I would happily give my life for him. But, well, there's the thing. I'd happily give my life for him.
Implying that you can actually be happy.
Oh.
Implying that you can actually be happy. Which also implies the fact that you have thoughts and feelings of your own.
Not me.
Which subsequently implies you aren't an incredibly stale person whose personal interest can be summed in the words, standing around.
Bitch got feelings?
I guess that's part of the reason why I was elected to the position of Captain General. After millennia of isolation and your occasional murdering of demons trying to creep in, I'm the one and only companion who's not batshit insane.
Aren't you though?
And I suppose that's also part of the reason why you're still wearing your armor after all this time.
Yeah!
Why, you haven't got your dick out yet.
You're still wearing your armor after all this time.
Yeah! Or, well, not all this time.
Oh!
I went through a phase. Can't say I'm particularly proud of it. Those loincloths really don't leave much to the imagination.
So wait, Kitten had a sexy face? I need to see it. I need to know.
What do you think?
Kitten!
Taste the floss.
Oh, okay. Taste the floss, he says.
No! Put it away, baby, put it away.
What do you think? I swear I could taste the floss.
Anyway, as you were asking...
Ah, yes.
Oh, okay, sorry. We've had enough.
Kitten, you motherfucker. You give us all of that information, and you don't give us, like, a dramatic flashback? I want a star wipe, and I want a Sailor Moon-style transformation sequence where I get to see Kitten in the fucking loincloth outfit! I want another JoJo reference! I feel cheated right now. I feel like I'm being played, and I, for one, am unhappy about it. Playing with my heart! God!
Okay, I know he's been around pretty much as long as humanity has, and that he has gracefully guided us through all of that, but did he make humanity in his image, or is he simply the guardian of our species? And
Yeah.
If he made us, what made him?
Yes.
If he didn't make us, what made us?
Yes.
The oldest question in human history. What are our origins?
So is the Emperor supposed to be like God, and I've never like considered this before? Like I knew that he was like God-like in the fact that there's no religion and no God, but then pretty much, you know, it's very organized religion-y. We watched that really great video, you know, we learned about that. But like, I guess I've never considered that the Emperor wasn't just some dude that was like, I'm the Emperor now. I am really fucked up about this. I feel like I'm having, like, existential crisis right now, and that's okay, but, like, fuck, man, what do I do?
Sadly, I'm of little help to you in that field. Been too busy comprehending the Materium and superhero comics.
Superhero comics!
Really? Didn't the Emperor tell you himself? And if he didn't, don't you have some old arcade book about it or something?
Actually, he never told me much about his own past or humanity's origins. Perhaps he didn't want us to know, since he's always been so exasperatingly introvert about things like teaching. That, or it's because I never really asked.
Yeah, that's usually the reason you don't learn things, is because you don't ask questions. Just saying.
May have been the latter, all things considered. And no, I don't have an old book lying about that specifically tells us where we all came from. Only my neurotic brother Lorgar would have the talent to write a fictive suicide of that caliber. Besides, even if I had a book like that, all the exciting demon tomes with screaming faces and beware signs lying about would probably just make it look severely unappealing in comparison.
That is fair. I would rather read the Necronomicon than the Bible.
Gah, I suspected as much. And I've looked through all the tomes and slates in the palace's libraries, all the data stored in archives of ancient texts and journals. I've even looked through albums of travel photos for terror's sake.
Aw, travel photos! That sounds cute.
But I couldn't find anything about the time before the Emperor conquered Terra during the Age of Strife.
Yeah.
If you are that curious, why not just ask Father himself?
You know, it feels like a bad idea. We've watched 16 episodes of this, and that just feels like a bad idea, you know? Sometimes it's just not a good idea.
If you are that curious, why not just ask Father himself?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
Multiple reasons.
no.
His mind is so splintered that remembering such ancient knowledge might make him fling his skeleton through
Banana Boy! Hi. Oh, he's
I'm
gone.
much unsure if he'd actually want to tell me. I mean, if he
What
never
you
told
doing?
you, why would he tell me?
Well, he does seem to like you.
Like? You ever say something that you like? You ever say something that just changes the way you are, and then suddenly you're Cockney and you're very okay with that, and then you realise you're going to live the rest of your life like this, just because you saw the word like typed out? It's me now, I'm Cockney.
Well, he does seem to like you,
Like?
despite him being grumpiness incarnate. He relies on you to listen to his boundless complaints and to inform him about, to quote, stupid shit. I'd even say he trusts you. He certainly trusts you more than he trusts me or any of his other sons for that matter.
There is a reason for that, though. You have done some weird, dumb shit. I wouldn't trust him either. Mr. Ginger Dick. He's like, hey, my dad doesn't trust me, but I also did a bunch of dumb garbage. All right, whatever.
He certainly trusts you more than he trusts me or any of his other sons for that matter. Actually, are you sure you're not his wife or something?
No, of course not, but...
Okay!
Really?
The act of implying he's more like a wife than a son after the Emperor called him son. Does the Emperor have a daddy kink? I'm not adverse to the ship as a whole, but I am adverse to the implications of certain aspects of it. And now I'm afraid. Anyway.
Actually, are you sure you're not his wife or something?
Of course not.
Wife?
Wait, really? You think so?
Indeed, stepmother.
First of all,
Uh-oh.
quiet you. Second of all, I think you might be right.
Oh my god, he's so excited! Stepmommy Kin! Why have I never considered that either?
I'm really wrong.
So I might just go and ask him then.
Uh-oh!
You do that.
This went badly somehow.
Actually, don't you want to come too?
Nope.
Nah, I'm gonna practice for that talent show that I heard is coming up next Thursday.
Talent show?
You say they're batshit insane, but your fellow companions do seem to know how to have a good time.
Uh-oh.
Unless you want soggy hair and stay down for a week, I would highly recommend you drop that.
Soggy hair. Nope.
Why should I? Oh.
Ellipsis.
What? Ellipsis.
Such a good idea after.
So let me get this straight.
Uh-oh.
You mean to say that you really have no records of human history before the age of strife accessible within the Imperial Palace?
No, not really. Most of it is so heavily censored by the Ecclesiarchy and the Inquisition that more closely resembles a barcode than it does anything else.
So you have no recollection of the tales of the old ones, my own conception, the rebellion of the Men of Iron, or any other tidbits of humanity actually kicking ass?
Wow. Rude.
Hello?
Incredible.
Incredible.
What is happening in this video?
I honestly thought I'd hit the greasy fucking bottom of this shithole when you told me of the Inquisition's activities, but I'm just now realizing that I'm only scratching the surface of this frozen ocean of ineptitude. It's almost as if nobody wants to hear about how our people weren't the be-all and all of civilization in this aspect of a galaxy.
Yeah, funny that, isn't it?
Right, this is something that I shall now unfuck post-haste.
Unfuck post haste. I'm ready.
This is something that I shall now unfuck post-haste. Magnus, fetch some parchment and do what you do best. Take notes.
Do not worry, I always have paper with me.
What a fucking nerd you are.
Alicia. Love it.
Anyway, I want you to write down everything I am about to tell you, and when I'm done, rewrite the whole damn thing as a grand historical document. Then I want you to start covering it in holy seals and shit, and
Every
then throw
holy
it
seal.
into a pile of dirt for a while, so it gets that shitty old paper look.
Yeah, that
That'll
makes
make
sense.
stupid people think it's inherently trustworthy.
Oh.
And shiny britches.
Shiny
When
britches.
Magnus finishes his chicken scratchings,
Oh, he just called Kitten Shiny Britches. I thought he was just saying that. I like it as a name.
and shiny britches.
Yes, my lord?
When Magnus finishes his chicken scratchings, I then want you to take this document to the scribes, have
Yes.
it proof to make sure he doesn't sneak in any mimetic chaos bullshit, then have it mass-produced and distributed all across the galaxy to all people of authority. I don't
Hot.
care if you literally need to ram it down their fucking throats.
Hot.
Just make sure they read that shit and understand it. No spam box filter shall stop my glorious wisdom
No
this time.
spam box is
Yes,
here.
my lord.
Now, gather around, children,
Yes.
for it is grand story time.
Yes! Story
Cue
time!
visuals.
Story time! Story time! Yay! Ooh, you're crusty.
In the beginning,
Why you look
there
like
was
that?
nothing.
Oh,
The nothingest nothing that has ever not existed.
Can't see shit.
The
Damn.
nothing just kinda sat about and unexisted, not bothered by any such thing as existence or reality.
Yes?
There may
Is this the
have been
Bible?
some bits of heat energy floating about, but that shit doesn't count.
There's science. He's going way further back than I thought that he was going to, just for the record.
Eventually, however, this frigid, lonely expanse of plot hole level nothing got sick of being nothing and decided to get a job.
Yes.
So all the energy bits sucked themselves into a ball smaller than the level of progress made since I was put on this over-glorified Porto Potty lighthouse.
Is the Emperor explaining the Big Bang?
Then, the energy exploded with the force of something that you'd compare giant fucking explosions to.
Love that.
There has never been, and never will be, an explosion as big as this one. It was so big that it's literally still happening right now.
Wait, what caused the heat to compress and explode like that?
I don't fucking know. Dark matter, plane walkers, precursors, a bunch of geeks with nothing better to do making a badass fictional universe for the purpose of inevitably selling inordinately expensive plastic miniatures.
Oh! I needed a second to recover from that one. Holy fuck. Boom roasted.
For the purpose of inevitably selling inordinately expensive plastic miniatures? It could have been anything.
He just called
So
all
after
you
the
motherfuckers
mega-explosion,
out.
atoms started to take form from the massive amounts of energy that floated
Okay, yep.
around, and these atoms started recombining,
Love these
collapsing,
popsicle
and forming
sticks.
themselves into elements, molecules, and compounds. These substances, unlike energy, had mass and decided to get closer to each other because now this new thing called gravity applied to them because that's
They
just what
bangin'.
fucking happened. Fuck
Oh,
this
God.
boring chemic shit. Let's get to the
Oh,
good
Jesus.
stuff. As matter formed into big lumps,
That's just what
these
happened.
lumps became celestial formations.
Yeah. Fuck the science. No one knows why.
Stars, planets,
Oh my
nebulas,
God.
asteroids, comets. Eventually, due to conservation of energy and some weird
fuck are
chemical
you?
reactions, life eventually formed on these lumps of space scrap.
Oh boy, sentient shit!
Supposedly, the first life that came about was a race of beings that became known as the Old Ones.
Oh, him chunky. He looks like a sexy little frog.
The reason for this nickname is that they were the ultimate rulers of reality and evolution.
Oh, look how cute they are. They're so chubby and have piercings.
The reason for this nickname is that they were the ultimate rulers of reality and evolution. And they were really fucking old, go
Love
figure.
it.
These beings are the shitty, neglectful grandparents of all that is life.
The sexy frog?
They evolved so damn hard that they eventually became spiritual entities, discovering the so-called realm of souls.
That's what I need to do. I need to evolve harder.
As a side note, as you can see, they looked something like big, fat amphibians before they evolved into beings of pure power. So that's a lot of progress for a bunch of giant hyper-intelligent toadmen.
I think they're cool.
Come to think of it, that sounds a lot like the administratum.
Incomprehensibly powerful for almost no reason.
Toadman, you rose-tinted typewriter with a fucking mouth. Anyway, they then decided to create other species for shits and giggles.
Oh, he's playing with a turd!
They then decided to create other species for shits and giggles. Some said that they created all life after themselves, but I'm not so sure on that one.
I'm pretty sure it's probably just frogs that they created after themselves.
Perhaps they helped push the boat out, but they certainly didn't fucking build it.
Too bad I
So
can't
these
build
old
fucking
ones
boats.
didn't create humanity.
That's what I just said, you hollow-headed ninny.
Are you fucking listening? My God.
Most life evolved in one way or another, and anyone who doesn't accept that is probably really drunk.
Lorgo's going to have fun with this.
Continuing on. Next to arrive were a bunch of floozy
Oh.
fucking milksops that you would recognize as the Eldar. Due to the
Okay.
fact that, early in their
Beautiful.
evolution, they reproduced like space rabbits.
All the fucking, man.
They reproduced like space rabbits. They actually ended up becoming the dominant race in the galaxy. The old ones were more like spread out singularities of imbalanced min-max hanging around here and there.
Yeah, they didn't fuck enough, clearly.
But neither race really cared for each other, so they coexisted peacefully, one spreading like a pointy-eared plague,
Ew.
while the other
What?
pooped out orangutans, more frogmen, and races with unpronounceable names.
Space poop is pooping out more frogmen and orangutans. That's crazy. Who knew space poop could do these things?
But then came the Necrontyr.
Wait.
Look how
sounds
cute that
familiar.
one is.
Strap yourselves to something, because here comes the most obvious plot twist of the fucking century.
I'm
The
ready.
Necrontyr were salty assholes because they had evolved on a shitty, radiation-blasted planet.
Whoever could have guessed!
They built underground cities that seriously looked like depressing tombs because their life sucked so much that they would rather wait out their own death than do much else. After years of being subservient to their animosity, like an entire race of entitled middle-aged people, they became envious of both the Old One's incredible powers.
I love that he just called them a race of Karens.
They became envious of both the Old One's incredible powers and the Eldar's massive galaxy-spanning girth.
It looks like Frankenstein and the Bride of Frankenstein. That's what these two look like.
Of course, they were little more than an irritating bunch of self-pitying tearjerkers to such powerful races. Eventually, however, the spite of the Necrontyr became so mighty that they started hating all life in the galaxy.
They had their emo phase. Good for them.
The spite of the Necrontyr became so mighty that they started hating all life in the galaxy, even themselves, and decided to start murdering literally everything.
We like it to
However,
murder.
they soon realized that manually making sure every single grass straw on a planet was dead was really fucking tedious, so they started snooping around for something to make into a super weapon. That led to them finding a weird bunch of gas orbiting the super radioactive star that had turned their planet into the empire of atomic bombia. They suddenly noticed that the gas was feeding on the very energy of the star.
Oh, I thought it was fucking it.
It turned out that the gas was alive, but not in the same sense as other life forms.
It is living gas!
It had evolved in a whole different way, and was technically even older than the old ones. Of course, all it actually did was eat radiation and, be what is basically celestial fart gas.
Yes,
But of course,
fart
these
cloud.
assy necrondards just had to fuck with this peaceful, sun-eating anomaly. They proceeded to collect as many of these weird sentient gas clouds as they could find and
Of
forge
course.
bodies of living metal for them, because what isn't that the first idea that comes to your mind as well?
No, the first idea that comes to my mind is to leave the cute little space farts alone.
They used the gas's own radiation-eating abilities to lure the dormant consciousnesses of them into the bodies they had made via the use of a bridge of starlight, or some pretentious shit like that. So after eons of peacefully orbiting stars and eating radiation, these beings, which knew no other need than to drift around and consume, were suddenly given incredibly powerful physical forms and hypercomputerized synthetic brains to give them all the knowledge the Necrontry hearts had collectively acquired. As you can guess, this went swimmingly for everyone involved.
That's what it sounded like.
I think I can guess who these guys are now.
Congratulations.
These gas entities. They became the Catan, and the Necrontyr became the Necrons?
Give this man a PhD, because that's some serious brain power for a giant armored potato chip.
Ah, good.
Kitten, come on. Get there. But you did, so good. Fine, yeah.
For a giant armored potato chip.
Good job,
But
Ken.
yes, these beings, in their fancy new bodies, with their big new brains, were named the Catan by the Necrontyr
Catan.
and were worshipped as gods. The Catan weren't nice though. They absorbed all the living metal the Necrontyr had amassed and used it to transform this massive species of psychopaths into a race of living, murderous machines who mindlessly served them. They also ate most of the Necrontyr's souls while they were at it, because they were ungrateful assholes like that.
Soul Eaters. Sydney.
That's also when these mounds of fluid dickery discovered that souls were far more appealing than space radiation. I guess souls have more nutrition or something. So the Catan started looking back through the extensive memories of the Necrontyr, now renamed Necrons for some reason, and saw that the old ones had the biggest, tastiest souls of them all, and decided that it would be a good idea to eat them.
Why do they need to eat everything?
When the Catan came gnawing at the old one's front door, the old ones of course decided to punch the shit out of them with their minds, like all grandparents do. But that's when they noticed that their psychic powers were useless against both them and the Necrons.
What is this shit?
Their psychic powers were useless against both them and the Necrons because they had no souls of their own. This started a massive galaxy-wide massacre of the old ones that went so far that they nearly became extinct.
R.I.P. sexy fat frog ghosts.
I guess you could say that the old ones got their life towed away from them.
Why did that sound like Nikki laughing?
Seriously though, that's awful.
Well, I guess the Necrontyr got what they wanted in the end.
Not quite. See, some of the old ones survived, and they decided that the only way to stop this imminent galactic doom is to fuck up in an equally as awful manner as the Necrontyr.
Great. So then it just became a fuckfest.
Thus, they created a new race, one which could fight the soulless Necrons for them. A race with strange reality-bending powers fueled by crowd mentality instead of souls. A race that knew and desired only war and destruction. A race that could weaponize anything and was almost impossible to kill. A race that became known then as the Krorks, or as we know them today, the Orcs, because shortening names is a thing.
What?
I knew it!
What?
Greenskins?
There's a plot twist you didn't see coming. The
It's
Orcs
true.
were actually important all along. So yeah, while the Krorks were fighting the Necrons, the Eldar were shitting their collective frilly patties because
Good.
they knew that they were next on the menu.
True.
So they decided to salvage as much of the old one's tech as they could and fuse it with their
rocking
own.
chairs.
Believe it or not, the Webboy was actually a creation of the old ones, but the Eldar nicked off with the designs, like the thieving bastards they are. That said, by combining Webway technology and the power of the Realm of Souls, they created a new type of material to combat the living metal of the Necrons called
Whoa.
Wraithbone. The Wraith constructs were sent into battle alongside the Krorks to fight back the Necrons. Turns out that while the Cat 10 were immune to psychic powers, it seemed as they couldn't handle being Wraithboned.
Ba-dum-bump.
From the moment I heard the name come up, I knew you'd say that.
Why aren't you the smartest kid on the fucking block?
Of course I am.
No wonder you were bullied by your brothers.
No, that's just uncalled for.
Anyway, just when things started to go down the drain for the Cat 10, things got even worse for them, as one
Alright.
particular asshole among them known as the Deceiver,
Right.
good friends with the Eldar Laughing God, brought together the most edgy Cat 10 he could possibly find, creatures with names that only the most lonely of people could come up with, such as the Nightbringer, the Void Dragon, and the Outsider. The Dessa then said to his fellow celestial gas canisters,
Yep.
All the other Cat 10 are weak and being killed off. We should eat them before they die so their powers won't be wasted.
Thus, the Cat 10
Tasted.
started infighting, and began to eat each other, while also being destroyed by the Krorks and the Eldar, because that is clearly what an intelligent life form would do.
Absolutely.
So much destruction was caused in this, the First Great War, that the Cat 10 suddenly realized they were expending more energy than they were absorbing, and would run out of power if they kept this up. All according to plan, Shago said as he laughed away the night with the Desslever.
Killing all of your allies in the middle of a giant war was apparently a bad idea. Who would have fucking thought?
I want to be a little jester.
Plus, they simply decided to retreat back to the Tomb Worlds with their Necron armies to wait for the universe to become plump, juicy, and unprepared again.
It would seem that at some point during that time, the Necrons must have regained some consciousness and taken revenge against the Catan for screwing them over.
So I have been led to believe.
Although, to be honest, it kind of sounds like they deserved what happened to them. That's what you get for being a filthy Xeno, after all.
So with that giant clusterfuck out of the way, you'd think things would get better. But nope. This giant war had left the universe a complete fucking mess.
Of course it did.
The old ones were near extinct. The Eldar were still scared shitless, and worst of all, the Krorks, with no Necrons left to fight, turned on their creators since the old ones had forgotten to install a fucking AUG switch. Fortunately, they could be held at bay due to having no technology of their own.
Listen! They're smart-ish. They'll build ships eventually that they just will into working.
That said, something worse than Necrons was on the horizon. You see, all the souls who were eaten, and all those who died in the battles created a major imbalance in the realm of souls. This imbalance within the outer
Yep,
realm corrupted
this is how that
and
works.
twisted it with all the ill will, fears, and general lack of common fucking decency that life now collectively experienced. Nightmarish spiritual entities
Yeah, that
started to
sounds like
emerge
a
from the
lot.
darkness of the realm, like a giant galactic panic attack. It was at this point that the first demons emerged, and the realm
There
of
he
souls
is.
was given a new name.
The war!
Chunky.
That all makes sense.
Chunky
Yup.
dunker.
Not only did that war fuck up the universe, but it fucked up the outer realms of the universe too.
Not only did the war fuck, the warp fucks.
I do know about how the warp started, just a little bit, but yeah, that was all a different version of what I had already heard, but I kind of liked this version too. Sometimes it's nice to hear information in two different ways, because then it makes it stick in your brain. Also, demons are just cool. What can I say?
Compared to that war, this 10,000-year-old conflict that started when fucking Horus decided to be a bad boy is barely a blip on the radar. Puts things into context, doesn't it?
It do.
I suddenly feel small,
You should.
and I don't know how to feel about that.
You'll get used to it. Besides, you're shorter than most of your brothers anyhow.
Oh, shit!
You're shorter than most of your brothers anyhow.
That's entirely my choice, and you know it.
Sure.
Where were we humanity during all of this.
Hiding!
We were all busy evolving from primates into tribal cavemen, picking our
Yes.
noses, and fornicating in the ways that primitive
Okay.
beings do. But not for long. You see, warp storms caused by this huge
Oh god, that looks like ass.
war fucked the galaxy over. And
Right.
additionally, demonic predators of the warp finished off most, if not all, of the remaining old ones.
I thought they were banging.
Demonic predators of the warp finished off most, if not all, of the remaining old ones. It's
Love
like some
it.
complete ass wipe suddenly invaded an old folks' home, demolished all their belongings, and subjected all old people to summary executions. And then another completely unrelated group came along and did the exact same thing all over again. The Eldar, realizing their own incredible fragility, decided fuck it.
Were they
Literally.
fucking?
And
Yep,
so they
knew
did. Constantly.
Fucking. See? That's what I know. They fucking.
Decided fuck it. Literally. And so they did. Constantly. So much so that they repopulated the galaxy
Oh!
again, became the dominant species once more, and ruined their own reproductive cycle to the point of near non-functionality. I mean, I know you'll lose it if you don't use it, but if you use it fucking constantly, it's gonna get worn out and shrivel up.
Gross.
I'm sorry. I went somewhere on my own.
It's at this point that the idiot says what species emerged.
The what?
I am absolutely hilarious, even after all these millennia.
Oh,
He still got it.
I still don't get it.
So, actual humans finally started coming forth out of the evolutionary fuckfest at this point, and a handful of them gained psychic powers similar to that of other species carrying souls around.
Nice.
These
Oh,
early day psychers called
mushrooms.
themselves shamans, and they
Dope.
were totally super badass, guiding
yeah.
humanity by learning about the ways of nature and the universe's history, through the power of the realm of souls and probably some shrooms.
A lot of shrooms.
However, when the doddering demon douches accompanied with an entire gang of horribly unnecessary creatures like enslavers
all
and
sorts of things.
Psychnoia started to show up, the shamans
Okay, I
started
don't
to
like
be
those, though.
horribly killed off in spasmtastic manners.
Oh, no!
So of course, the shamans decided they needed to put their heads together to solve the problem. So they did.
Whoa.
Again, literally.
Whoa.
By combining their very souls, psychic powers, knowledge, and strength through ritualistic mass suicide. They achieved in the blink of an eye something that had taken the old ones an entire species worth of evolution to do. They all became
What
a single living
happened?
being of spiritual energy and power.
Yes?
In short, they created me.
Why did Kitten get so big?
The way that kitten just blew up. Also, that's wild. I did not know that. I hope that wasn't a lie and that's true.
Look at all that. Look at all that. Look at those Patreons. Love it. Love to see it. Love all of it. And more.
We are the gods of the new world order. We are the soldiers of the Legion of
Oh?
Light. We are the century.
Prepare myself for what?
Sun, fire, and
I didn't know there was something after the credits. Oh. Okay.
mankind.
Oh. There's some different stuff.
On this day,
Who the fuck are you, Mr.
shall
Tiny
know our enemy
Sunglasses?
by the name that I shall give them. We shall know them as the Space Bags of Death.
Bugs of Death. I love it.
You'll get off my marble palace before you make anything dirty! Oh, thanks for the warning.
Outrageous!
Okay. Well, alright then. I didn't know that was a thing.
The end of that sounded like Kitten was gonna prepare for a sneeze. That never happened. Or multiple sneezes. I don't know. Whatever that noise was, great. Fucking great. Way too excited. He's about to just split out of his own fucking body. Oh my god. That was so good. Just, yeah! Me fucking too, Kitten. Me fucking too.
I have learned a lot. I feel like a lot of it was stuff that I thought that I knew, that I did know, that I knew that I knew, but having it like recontextualized and reformatted in this way and like kind of fired like super fast at my brain, was fun.
I can't complain. I'm learning things. I learn something every single video that I watch. It's kind of cool. Knowledge is power and shit. So I can't complain.
Thank you guys all for watching. This was a blast and a half, a wild ride. These episodes are getting longer and girthier by every episode, if you know what I mean. And I'm not mad about it. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Give somebody a hug. I gave so many hugs over the last couple days, and you know what? Some of those people were not expecting it. They were good hugs. It's never a bad time for a good hug. I'll catch you guys in the next one, okay? Mwah!
You and me and you, both of us together. Yeah.
This is how I wake up in the morning, just beautifully. Was someone taking shots in here with black lipstick? That could actually be anybody but me. Anyone but me. I've never worn black. Someone. Tiny lips. Little bottom lip. Nikki. It might actually have been Nikki. I don't know.
We are back with text. I'm gonna roll out. What if I live underneath the table. I'm just gonna slither underneath the table, make myself my little nest, and just fall asleep. And then the next time you see me, I'll come out and it'll be a whole new video. That's where I sleep. I sleep under this desk. We made sure there's no spiders underneath there. There's twinkly lights. And I keep a stash of Oreos and Red Bull down there to keep me going. That's what I survive on. The nectar of the gods and Oreos. Double stuffed because...